I've been out in the front garden and picked this beautiful twig, which is laden with all these magic pink blossoms, and I'm going to paint it in a loose contemporary style in watercolour. Start by squeezing out some colour. This is quinacridone magenta. This is Viridian. There's some beautiful green. This is peacock blue. Just a little bit of peacock blue so I can make some beautiful purples. And this is quinacridone violet. A little bit of violet and a little bit of peacock blue. And I make this magic purple colour. Next brush, a little bit of quinacridone magenta. It's incredibly pink. It's so beautiful. And then to that pink, I'm going to add just a dot of the blue. Oh, too much. Go back and add more magenta. Go back to the pink side. Oh, that's it. Lovely. So now I've got a few colours ready. I'm just going to mix up a little bit of this green while I'm here. Just a tiny bit of green and the blue and the magenta all together. Just get this beautiful grey purple colour. Just to get that. I'm going to start by spritzing lightly all the way along my design. And you can see I'm totally colour, just doing whatever colours I want to do. I'm totally conscious the branch is a brown colour, but I love these colour combinations, so that's what I'm going to do. A little more. I'm going to use some of this pure magenta now. Now, a little bit of gravity. So I'm going to take my trusty container and I'm going to prop up my board. I'm going to put colour on my blossoms and then spritz it. Round. It's like a flower within a flower. The little back petals are so pretty. Yeah. Yeah. Right, I've dried it off. Just checking I've got enough on my palette, and then I'm going to use my flat brush to cut in around flower there. I might cut in around that one too. and along there. Switch to my big mop brush and put on more water, and then pick up my flower again because I want to be thinking about the shape of the blossom. Just move my blossoms for a minute while I give it a bang on the table, put it upside down and make it, bang it this way too. This is Araldo di Pialo white gouache. Sometimes I like to use a white watercolor pencil to finish. If I can use a white watercolor pencil, I do think that's better, because then it's all watercolor, because, you know, gouache is not watercolor. But you got to go with what's needed in your painting, and this, I think, is needing the little tiny bits of white. Tiny stamen, that's a little too irregular. Not irregular, regular. So I'm just changing that a little bit to make it. Right, so I'm just going around with little highlights of white. Little I think needs a lift. And, oh, that's better. This, I've really lifted this one, I think. But as you know, with watercolor, you can just keep going and adjusting, and it will not necessarily get better. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to say, right, call it finished. I'm going to sign my name. Okay, it is time. I like to sign my name in the color that I've been painting in. So purple is my favorite color, so I'm going to paint it in purple. I'm just going to test over here that I like the look of that color. Yeah, okay, reload. And I'm going to paint it over here. I'm Marion Chapman, and you've been watching another watercolor tutorial. This completes the painting part, and if you want to keep watching, I'm going to talk about the colors in a moment. So, big reveal, and then I'm going to talk about the colors that I used today, and I'm going to talk about the colors in terms of the color wheel. Okay. Always looks a little better when you take the tape off. So if this is a color wheel, then this is yellow, this is blue, and this is red. So there's the three primaries. These are the colors that I used today for the blossom painting. So I've got this peacock blue, and I think it's pretty close to being a pure blue. So I'm going to write it. It looks a lot like phthalo blue, which is a pure blue. So I'm going to say peacock blue is my pure blue. And then I've got a violet, quinacridone violet, and you could see it was very pinkish, but it wasn't really a purple. So if blue's there, red's there, purple would be there, and really it's kind of on the pinker side. So I'm going to put it as being not purple, but I'm going to put it here. I'm going to say that I've got quinacridone violet. And then I also had magenta, quinacridone magenta. Quinacridone magenta sits here. Quinacridone magenta. And that's those two. And then I had Viridian, which is a pure green. So again, as you know, green is halfway between blue and yellow, and Viridian is really a very pure green. So if I put my tubes on, I've got a green and a blue and two red-based colors. If you draw a line through the middle of your color wheel, everything over here is warm and everything over here is cool. So I've got three cools and a little pop of red. It's called quinacridone magenta, but it's so close to being a beautiful red. So you can see that these three colors will make for a predominantly cool painting. And if you have a look at it, although it's in the pink and the purple zone, it's certainly got a real coolness to it. And the blossom does come out in, for us, it's the end of winter, so it's really lovely plant to come out that sort of signals that spring is on its way, but the weather is still cool. So I kind of like that it ended up looking cool. But there is an absolute predominance of quinacridone magenta, and that's balancing off all of these cool colors. The other thing that I use today is this pencil. It is called, it's Faber-Castell Graphite Aquarelle. It's a 2B. So the beauty of this pencil is that it dissolves as you're painting and over the top of it. So it was great for this sort of exercise because it was dissolving as I painted. But if you want your pencil line to remain, don't use this one, use a normal graphite pencil. The brushes that I use are two quills, a little liner brush, and I used a flat, and then I've also got just off screen there a big mahogany Kazan by Neef. It's a mop brush. It's a size 4. And the paper I used was Ash. That's this particular size, and it's rough. I love the weight of the paper, and I love the brush side. I love the weight of the paper and the rough texture. It comes up with all this beautiful granulation. So this Viridian Green is doing the most beautiful granulating thing. If I just hold this here for a second, if you have a look at this little section here, if I hold that up a little bit, will that, yeah. Over here you can see this beautiful granulation. I absolutely love what that does. So here's a little scan, a little close with my signature down the bottom. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.